Okay, let's do it. What are these Karens crying about now?
You're a gamer. You play games. But what if a group of people decided that your hobby was a crime? What if they wanted to use police, even international police, to come after you just for disagreeing with them?
Good luck, Karen. Karens are one of the worst things to happen to the internet, man.
That's not a joke. It's happening right now, and it's all thanks to a group called Collective Shout, who are trying to get anyone who stands against them arrested. Meet Collective Shout, an Australian group that decided they didn't like some of the games on platforms like Steam and itch.io.
And so selective about it too, and bullying Steam of all places. These people that were apolitical before, the gamers that you're talking about, like on 4chan or just on Steam in general, they were apolitical, and now you're making them political because you're forcing them to be political.
So what did they do after Gaben wouldn't listen to their complaints? They went after the money. They sent a letter to major payment companies like PayPal and MasterCard demanding they stop working with these game stores. Their argument was that some of the games had extreme content, framing it as illegal and that it should be removed. The thing is, it worked. The payment companies gave in. They told the game stores to clean up their act or they would lose service. The game platforms removed thousands of titles to make sure that they fell in line with these financial companies' rules. This response not only hurt the players of these games, it also caused financial damage to real people, including the thousands of developers who spent countless hours on the art and game development.
What about what's happening at Roblox right now? Have these collective Karens done anything about that? Or are they just sitting around and crying about Steam games that they think are inappropriate with arbitrary rules that they just threw down and said, oh, well, you can't have like a young woman that's displayed in a grotesque manner. That's inappropriate. You can't have video games where people are violent. It's because it's not about the kids. Yes, it's about censorship. It's about doing things like that you don't stopping things that people like and you don't like. Yeah, nothing about Roblox OF. Although, I'm pretty sure they did try to block OF one time and they said no. And they backed off for whatever reason.
It wasn't only that though. One of PayPal's largest acquiring banks terminated its service with Steam in every currency other than 6. So now it's no longer just about adult games. Nearly every single person on the platform is now directly affected. Also, when a bank terminates its service with a merchant, they report it to the match list. We covered it in our previous video, but it's a secret confidential list that top banks and financial companies like MasterCard and Visa use to monitor risky merchants. Imagine.
So they put a blacklist on them. Dude, Gaben's gotta do something. They gotta get that Valve Pay up right now. They don't care. They commended cuties. They like cuties and you think it would object to the Roblox stuff? That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting that they don't care about that, but they care about fictional video games.
It as a big red flag or a warning telling other banks not to work with Valve. Although the match list database is kept extremely private, the fact a bank has terminated service with Valve means they are highly likely to be on this blacklist.
What other companies are on the blacklist, man? Look at them! Look at how many of them look like Karens! It's insane!
After their win, Collective Shout couldn't stop talking about the situation. You'd think a group that got what it wanted would move on to bigger things. But of course, this group doesn't actually care about protecting anyone other than removing content they don't like. To defend their actions, Collective Shout has been trying to paint these games as highly illegal to larger organizations that have little understanding of gaming, like a United Nations Special Rapporteur. A UN rapporteur are independent human rights experts who simply investigate and advise on issues.
What about the Epstein files? Have they got a rapporteur, whatever it's called, on the Epstein files? Huh, interesting. We care about Steam games, but I've never heard of a UN rapporteur defending or going against the Epstein files. The what files? Oh yeah, you're right. That's already gone. It's all fucking distraction. You think so? Yeah, they're all Australian. Of course they're venomous. It's not even about that, because there's a bunch of Karens that agree with them, and they agree that the gamers are big bullies, and I'm just getting so mad thinking about it. These women have nothing better to do than to censor what you like on the internet because they have nothing else better to do. There's a bunch of Karens outside of Australia that agree with these people, and that's why they're crying about it and saying that the gamers are bullying them, the 4chan gamers, you know, the evil guys that are bullying them, and crying victim. And it's working for them. The fact that Collective Show is trying
to get one on their side shows they're actively working to legitimize their claims to a wider non-gaming audience. And now, they found a partner in a report from a group called the Online Hate Prevention.
Oh my god. Online Hate Prevention Institute. Give them a job application. Dude, this is like Karen's, like, dream. This actually exists?
Institute. This report, which sides with Collective Show, is just saying why they think this censorship is so good.
Oh my god, what did I just say? When I googled my email address and found my name and photo on 4chan, my work email address was listed. The words R-word them underneath. One user wrote that he planned to stab me. Wanted to make a cool tribute to me where a man educated into the foot of a woman. Chat, I'm gonna be honest, I have seen so much worse written about me on 4chan, and I don't care. Genuinely, this is like another Tuesday for me. I'm not trying to brag, but like, if you care about this kind of thing, that's kind of crazy. Also, you put your real name and front and center on the Collective Shout thing, and then you don't expect people to do anything? Dude, it's crazy. These people are like, oh my god, I'm clutching my pearls. Someone said the really naughty bad thing about me. It's like, oh my god, dude. It's not that big of a deal, man. It's just 4chan.
Censorship is so good, and framing the pushback from gamers as a hateful, misogynistic campaign.
I don't think those people would do that. I'm not gonna lie.
Reach the bottom conclusion. The Online Hate Prevention Institute has been shocked by both the extreme nature and volume of the content we have seen attacking Collective Show, the women who work there, and those that serve on its board of directors. The connect comes from accounts across multiple platforms.
And you know what the funniest part is that these 4chan people, the guy that wrote this part and the part before that about... you know, I can't say the word on YouTube, but these people are gonna see this and feel so vindicated and find it so funny. That is very messed up. Chat, this happens to anybody that posts on the internet. I don't think it's a big deal unless it crosses over into real life. It's 4chan, for God's sake. Genuinely. I've had worse written about me, man. And I don't care. I think it's funny.
Board of directors. The connect comes from accounts across multiple platforms. Funny, but in some cases, new throwaway accounts have been created in an effort to anonymously post threats while trying to avoid any consequences. These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including international cooperation between law enforcement agents.
Спасибо, hello! Thank you so much for the raid! Соли Мури! Спасибо! Спасибо большое. Мы смотрим видос на... не знаю, там... I don't know how to explain this in Russian. Is there a word for Karens in Russian? I don't know. Babki? Старухи? International Karens. I genuinely, I don't know how to translate it. Yeah, but if you understand English, they are censoring your video games because they're outraged. No.
These threats of death and rape are not free speech, not even in the United States, where some of the trolls clearly come from. We're not talking about your local police. We're talking about
where they're gonna backtrace those damn IPs and get them to justice for saying that they wanted to R-word them on a video game or in a public forum. international police.
So agencies that deal with serious international crimes.
That's crazy.
They're asking for help from organizations like Interpol. It's crucial to understand that Interpol isn't a police force that would directly arrest you. Instead, it's a network that communicates between different countries' police. It would allow an Australian police force, like the Australian Federal Police, to coordinate with agencies in other countries, like the FBI in the US, to track down and investigate people. So collective...
Imagine you wrote some heinous shit about one of these stupid Karens, and the CIA agent comes across the file and is like, oh, this looks like another Tuesday for me. I'm not even gonna start thinking about looking at this shit. Why waste your time? This is such a nothing burger.
Shout's allies want to use laws that were designed to fight cybercrime, like harassment, threats, and defamation, to go after gamers who simply just don't want their games censored and controlled by people who have never played a video game in their life. And while no one should accept threats of violence, a number of people have found that Collective Shout has been faking threats against themselves.
They've been faking threats. They're actually crying wolf. Oh my lord. And you wonder why nobody takes you seriously.
To gain sympathy.
Including a fake email from blah 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 blah. Oh, naughty word, raping. Fuck. Shit. I said the word. Fuck. Hurtingwomen.com, which was later found to be a completely fake domain. Demonetized. I'll censor it. It's fine. There goes the VOD. No, it's fine to say it out loud on Twitch. You just can't say it on YouTube because they're cringe.
And get
I
donations.
Don't endorse this. It's just like, oh my god,
just
man.
Say the games are illegal, and anyone who speaks up against them is misogynistic or a rapist, that it will just make everyone agree and listen to them. Remember, like Valve has said, the games they were targeting were legal and fit inside their original policies. So it genuinely seems like Collective Shout may actually start to work with police to pursue criminal charges against gamers. Collective Shout is straight up coming into a space that's not theirs, trying to control—
You are going to fuck around and find out, messing with people that just want it to be left alone. You take away their entertainment, you take away their one form of escapism from the real world, you are going to stir up a wasp fucking hive.
It, and they don't want anyone to speak up against it. They got cooked so hard they had to private their X account, which is most likely why they had to start begging for—
They started saying, so there's a woman by the name of Madam Savvy who started pointing out that their censorship of video games were extreme and unnecessary and stupid, and they started saying stuff like, oh, well, you're not a woman, you're just being a pick-me, you're not actually being a woman. If you were a real woman, you wouldn't say this kind of thing and stand up to us. Yeah, they accused her of being a man. Absolutely unbelievable. And then they went private because they got cooked.
Donations, as they were starting to look bad for their supporters. So let that all sink in. A group is trying to get international police involved. They want law enforcement to target people who oppose them.
You can imagine what kind of people these people are based on how they react to a woman saying that this is stupid.
Although Collective Shout tries to act like the victims, this campaign has already directly affected thousands of developers, many of them small, independent creators who lost their income overnight.
So sad.
Luckily, Valve is on their side, but that still doesn't change the fact that their previous work was removed. So
again, they're not on their side, it's just that they're going to lose their income. At the end of the day, Steam is only upset that they're losing the income itself, not that they got removed.
Collective Shout is directly responsible for
their revenue and their payment methods
on thousands of people. Because Collective Shout is an Australian group, these developers could group together and file a class action lawsuit against them for economical damages.
Damn.
Their most likely path to a win would be in an Australian court, as US courts would have difficulty claiming jurisdiction over an Australian organizations for actions that launched overseas. This is just a thought for all the game developers who are affected, as these power-hungry people won't stop until they face consequences. It also won't just stop here. According to MasterCard's rules, any game with non-consensual mutilation could be hit, and since
So Call of Duty, where you shoot people without their consent. Wait, that's such an oxymoron. You can't hurt someone without their consent because it's any video game? What about, I don't know, fantasy games where you blow someone up with a fireball? Is that not mutilation as well? Like, you're not, the mob is not consenting to being hurt. Like, what? Excuse me? You can extrapolate that to any video game, quite frankly. Yeah, RimWorld, where you butcher villagers.
Steam is now forced to follow their rules.
This
means
dumb.
Nearly every top game could get removed.
Yeah.
By not fighting back, we are allowing a small group to dictate what is acceptable for an entire global community. Trump has signed an executive order that is meant to stop banks from debanking or denying financial services for political or reputational risk reasons. So if it is a lawful activity, they can't deny it, which is what's happening exactly
Which is good.
here. While this executive order is a big step, it's not a full law just.
It's not illegal to have a video game depict, for example, like mouthwashing, where you depict something that makes people uncomfortable. You're not glorifying it, you're just showing what's happening. And these people want that kind of shit removed too.
Yet, it won't help everyone around the world. Now, regardless of how long it takes, I wouldn't be surprised if Valve comes out with a solution so they no longer have to be dependent on these large financial companies. Make sure you support the developers, speak out against this kind of censorship, and whatever you do, don't let them win.
Yeah, don't let them win. I'm doing my part. Chat, do your part. Go check out Water CS2. They're doing a great job of covering this. Yeah, low-key, I don't know, man. There's an episode of The Simpsons back in, like, I want to say the 1990s, where Marge tried to censor something that she didn't like, and then she realized after walking into a museum that every other art piece that was displayed at the museum was getting censored as a result of her, because she pushed it too far, and now she's realizing that it's not okay.